What's going on? Welcome back to another tutorial video. In today's video, we're going to be showing you how to do candy color. Candy color is probably one of the most hardest colors to do out there on a scale modeling, but there's an awesome trick out there on how to do it. But again, you do have to take your time with these colors because they are super sensitive and they're kind of hard to do and hassle. So right now what I'm doing is I'm blowing up any dust. I did prime the body before camera because it saves some time. And just in case you're wondering what primer I'm using, this is automotive primer. It's actually Duplicolor. So what you want to do is blow up any dust because you do want to sand down the primer as much as possible, because I will explain why here in a sec. So make sure you get any kind of dust and anything off the primer, because you do not want anything under the color coat, which I will explain why here in a sec. Okay, so for a color coat, for candy, you do want to use a silver or sometimes gold base. I'll explain why here, what's the difference here in a sec. But the reason why you want to sand down your primer super smooth is because you want this base color to be down as perfect as possible. Because if you do have to wet sand this base color, go for it, but you do have to apply another coat. The reason being, candy colors are see-through candy colors. It's candy colors. It's actually see-through paint. It's kind of like Tamiya clear red, clear orange. You know what you use for turn signals. That's basically what this paint is. It's see-through paint, and that's what the silver or gold base does. It just reflects the paint off that base color. So that's why you want this silver to be super smooth. If you do wet sand it and you put on the color on top, you are going to be seeing all of the sand marks. Everything is going to be seen through the color, because like I said, the color is transparent and it will show every single little scratch into the silver through your candy color, which is what you don't want. So right now what I'm using is splash paints. This works for any kind of candy color out there, Outcrad, Testers, Tamiya, whatever you want to use. Candy colors are basically all the same. So I'm only doing 2 coats of aluminum. This is actually a really bright aluminum to splash paints. You can either use silver or aluminum, as long as it's really bright aluminum, or gold. So there's a difference between gold or silver or aluminum base coat. Some people do ask, I mean, you should just use gold. Gold is better, you know. But you don't want to use gold for a specific reason. I want this candy color to be very poppy. That's what the silver or really bright aluminum does. It brings out the color and it makes it more poppy. If you use gold, gold darkens the candy color. So that's the difference between gold and silver. If you want a darker candy color, then you use a gold base coat. If you want a very poppy base color, of course use silver, or in this case aluminum base color. So there is a difference between gold and silver. So we're going to put on 2 coats of silver. I'm going to speed up the footage on the second coat because you can barely see what I'm doing on the second coat, and then we'll skip to color. Alright, now the silver and or gold, whoever you want to use, is dry. I let it dry for about an hour or two. So this is about an hour because I've heated the garage and we're good to go. And we're ready to put on candy color. So make sure, like I said, make sure you have no scratches. Make sure you look over your base color. Make sure there's no scratches, no nothing. If you do, go ahead and sand it and put on another coat of base color, because again, you want this base color to be smooth as possible. Do not wet sand it at all, because like I said, you will be seeing all of the scratch marks through this color because it is transparent. So once you've done that, candy colors. This is one thing you know, candy colors take a long time to cover. This is why you have to have a lot of patience with them. Candy colors, since they are transparent, they are going to take a lot more coats to cover. This one took about 4 to 5 coats to cover. Usually, most colors cover within 3 coats, but you do have to put on extra coats with candy because, again, it is transparent paint. So, with that being said, make sure you are putting these coats on super light. Very, very light. Do not go heavy. Don't go fast, because if you go fast, your paint is going to get screwed up, and then it's going to put you back some time because you're going to have to strip it and you have to start all over. So take your time, go slow. The first coat should be super light. Meaning by super light, you should still be able to see your base color through this first coat. So make sure you do hard to reach areas first, easy to forget spots, and then move on to the whole body. Alright, now it's time for the second coat. First coat went down nicely. As you see, it looks really good. I can still see the silver behind the color, which is good. Now, if you have air tip dry, you want to call it, as you will be seeing in this clip, not to worry, because I do get some questions on do I get tip dry on my airbrush. Yes, it does happen sometimes, and not a big deal. And what I do is get a cotton swab or a Q-tip, you want to call it, and just get lacquer thinner and just spray off the tip and or rub the tip with a cotton swab, and you're good to go. As you see, my airbrush is kind of hard time spitting out the paint. For the candy colors, it does take you do want them to sit for at least 15 to 20 minutes longer than usual, because you want these to be completely dry before you go to your next coat. And there you go, you just saw the cotton swab, and now my airbrush is spitting out nicely. So yes, air tip dries does happen in my airbrush, not a big deal. Just use a cotton swab and lacquer thinner, wipe off the excess, and it sprays out good. So 15 to 20 minutes later, you're good to go. And make sure with the candy colors, do not go heavier with them. On like other colors, like normal colors, you can go heavier on them, but since it's a candy color, do not go any heavier. Just keep it as, simple, and keep it as thin as your first coat. Alright, time for a third coat. Again, 15-20 minutes later, and we're good to go. Color is completely dry, and we're all set. Again, keep the third coat. Again, keep these coats as light as the first one, because it is a candy color. They're not meant to be thicker, because it won't make no difference no matter what, because again, it is transparent paint. So again, third coat, and this is definitely not the final coat. There is a few other coats after this. So again, make sure you're going super light. Do not go overboard, and don't get impatient. Make sure you're taking your time. Go slow. When you are waiting between your coats, go inside or walk away. Make sure you're not just sitting there and waiting for time to go by, and you'll get impatient, and then you'll go over again, and it can possibly ruin your paint job. So that's a tip with these candy colors. When you're done with the coat, just walk away, and for 15-20 minutes later, come back, and you should be good to go for your next coat. Again, just don't wash them, because these candy colors, they do take a lot of time and effort to get them covered. Alright, fourth coat. Again, keep your coats super light. Again, first coat is thick as this one. So take your time, go slow, and it's basically the same thickness as the other three I just did. Alright, so right now I'm doing is just checking the body, make sure I got everything covered. I'm just going to touch up a few spots here and there, such as hard to reach area spots, because this is my final coat. I just want to make sure everything is good. This is one of the major parts about candy colors. If you forgot something, or if you forgot a little spot, you want to make sure you get it all covered, because candy colors, if you miss a little spot, there is going to be a big difference between colors on each side of the body. So if you miss a little spot, it don't matter, there is going to be a major color difference. The candy colors is very hard to get very very color match. So make sure you get everything covered and having evenly covered as well. And here it is after clear. Candy colors is where the shine part happens. After clear coat, this is where candy colors really shine, and it looks absolutely incredible. This will be a separate video. I'm not going to include clear coat in this video because I don't want to make this video over 30 minutes long. But as you see, it looks absolutely incredible, and it looks really, really nice. So there we have it, guys. That's how we do candy colors. Again, they are very sensitive, and you just take your time, go slow, and here is start to finish pictures as well. But yeah, just take your time, go slow, make sure you have patience with them, because they do take a long time to cover. They do take a lot more coats to cover. Sometimes they can take up to 6 to 7, maybe 10 coats to cover, depending on the color. So just take your time, go slow, be patient with them, and they will work out for you, and they do look amazing at the end, as you see as the finished result. But just take your time and go slow. If you don't go slow, if you go fast, you are going to ruin your paint job, and you'll probably have to strip it and start over, which is not what you want to do. But that's it for this video, guys. Hope you enjoyed. As you see, the result looks absolutely incredible. But until my next video, I'll catch you next time. Take it easy.